Good morning, fellow pinheads. Daz here. I just thought today I'd jump on Star Trek. Before I do, I'd like to ask you guys how you got into pinball. And I thought I'd start by maybe talking about how I got into pinball. I was born in 67, so that makes me nearly 60 now. And I remember it was probably, I guess, maybe the early 70s. I remember walking into I guess it was a rest stop. We used to go away quite a bit with the family, the old family holidays. And I remember seeing, I think it might have even been Evel Knievel or something like that. And I was just mesmerised. I could hardly even see the playfield. I just remember just sticking my nose on top of the glass. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'd never obviously taken much notice of them. I was only a tacker, 5 or 6 years old or maybe even younger. Yeah, ever since then, the lights, the sounds and everything like that just had me mesmerised. And I guess I was a bit of an early developer because I started going to the arcade. There was a couple of arcades in Cranbourne back then when they were popular. And they didn't have much in the way of pinball. They had probably 4 or 5 machines, but they mainly had pool tables. But what they did have was bingos. And, I didn't know much about it, but they used to actually gamble with them. And for those that aren't familiar with bingos, they're your machines with all the holes in them, and you've got to get 3, 4 or 5 in a row on the backboard and things like that, and you can shift the numbers around, and they're quite interesting and entertaining. And I used to make those when I was about 5 or 6, and I remember my dad teaching me how to hammer nails properly and all that sort of thing. And my first ones I made out of thin masonite, and I used to make the holes with a chisel punch. It's like a chisel but with a punch on the end of it, and I just used to bang the holes in with a hammer and use marbles and rubber bands and nails, and they worked really well. I had a lot of older people, my older brother and his mates, and that used to come around, and they were all quite impressed, and a couple of them were blown away. And so over the years I've made several of them. My first one I made, I don't know if any of you remember, back in the day there was a film about a superhero called The Greatest American Hero. And I remember my first one I made with flippers was based on that, and I had a crack at drawing the playfield and tried to draw the guy whose name was Ralph and all that. It worked out okay, and you know what, I've got no photos or anything like that. I'll digress a bit by saying that I envy those young people these days, from birth till they die, they've got a record of their whole life. What I'd give to go back to check out a few memories. But we just can't. They're just memories, that's all they are. I find the odd photo, the odd high school or primary school photo that I don't expect to see online, and it gives me a thrill and a half. So I can imagine what life's going to be like for you guys when you're older. I envy us all. Good luck to you. So that's a little bit about how I got into pinball. I really started playing pinball seriously maybe when I was in my early teens. I was a little shit. I started knocking off 20-cent pieces and things like that from wherever I could find them. And I'd go down the pinball parlour, and a couple of funny stories to tell you, but I'll save those ones for another day. In the meantime, let me know how you guys got into pinball. I'd really like to hear about it, and enjoy the rest of Star Trek.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Warp 9.8. Cruising at warp sector.
isolinear chips have been collected.
Shoot again.
Initiate simulation.
Shooting phases at ready. 5 phases.
Excellent shot.
The kickback is ready. Fire all weapons. Commence firing.
Irradiant spheres have been collected.
Fire when ready. Fire phases.
Simulation.
Extra. Sensors are picking up a romulan warbird in the new 10 million. 20 million. 30 million. Suggestions.
We could destroy the asteroids in our path, sir.
Make it so. Evasive maneuvers.
Congratulations.
Beyond belief.
The Stone has been
Hard maneuver. Nicely done. 10 million. Excellent.
If you do not surrender, we will destroy your ship.
We will never surrender.
Battle station.
Fire when ready. Jackpot. Phases at ready. Jackpot. Phases at ready. Super jackpot. All hands prepare for multi-ball. Damage report.
We have heavy casualties on all decks.
Jackpot.
You will be a
Super jackpot. Jackpot.
The kickback is ready.
Damage to the shield, sir. Jackpot. Super jackpot.
Damage coming in from all decks.
Jackpot. Jackpot.
Captain, we have heavy casualties on all decks.
Super jackpot.
resistance is futile.
Evacuate all personnel.
5 to beam up. 5 to beam up. 5 to beam up.
Dilithium crystals have been...
Congratulations, Lieutenant. Sensors are picking up a Romulan warbird in the neutral zone. Sensors are picking up a Romulan...
Set coordinates for the Alpha Quadrant. Alpha Quadrant.
Well done, Lieutenant. Brilliant. Cruising at warp vector.
Familiar chips have been collected.
Set coordinates for the Gamma Quadrant.
40 billion. 50 billion. 50 billion.
Uranium spheres have been collected.
Congratulations.
Cruising at warp factor 4. continuum.
Had you propelled the ball on the proper trajectory, you would have been rewarded.
Shoot again.
The final frontier.
Initiate simulation.
Excellent shot.
Sensors are picking up a
Simulation complete.
sensors are picking up a Cardassian ship in the.
Bonjour, mon capitaine.
Q, what are you doing here?
Let's play a little game. Q, we don't have time for your games.
Sensors are picking up a Cardassian ship in the 5 billion.
Evacuate all personnel.
Five to be on.
Sensors are picking up a Cardassian ship.
Suggestions. We could destroy the asteroids in our path.
Make it so. Evasive maneuver Cardassians are hailing us. On screen.
Leave this territory now or be destroyed.
Let's be diplomatic about this. Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander. Damage to the shield, sir.
All shields are down. All shields are down.
Cruising at 1 factor 2. Damage to the shield, sir. The shields are at 50%.
The Picard maneuver. Nicely done.
Warp factor 4. Damage to the shield, sir. Warp 5. Warp 6. Damage to the shield, sir. Warp 7. The shields are at
Vaccine crystals have been collected.
damage to the shield, sir.
The kickback is ready.
Damage to the shield, sir. Sensors are picking up a distortion in the space-time continuum.
Program initiated.
10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion.
Isolinear chips have been collected. Program terminated. Hurry up. Activated.
Congratulations, Commander. 5 billion.
Hold on tight. Could get rough.
Steady as she goes. What is our exact location?
Unknown, Captain.
5 billion.
Set coordinates for the Alpha Quadrant.
I'll save those ones for another day. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the song.
Hold on tight, it could get rough.
Steady as she goes. Sensors are picking... What is our exact location? Unknown, Captain. Sensors are picking up a Ferengi crater in the neutral zone.
Set coordinates for the Alpha Quadrant. Alpha Quadrant.
Fantastic. Beyond belief.
Set coordinates for the Delta Quadrant.
Good luck.
Initiate simulation.
Nicely done. Fire phasers. 5 billion. 10 billion. Commence firing.
Nicely done.
Phasers at ready. Sensors are picking up a...
Simulation complete.
Bonjour, mon capitaine.
Q, what are you doing here?
Let's play a little game.
Q, we don't have time for your games.
Sensors are picking up a Ferengi freighter. Congratulations, Captain.
Evacuate all personnel. Program initiated.
10 billion. 10 billion.
Program terminated.
Sensors are picking... Suggestions.
We could destroy the asteroids in our paths.
Make it so. Evasive maneuvers. space-time continuum. Sensors are picking up a Ferengi freighter in the neutral zone. 5 million. 10 million. The final frontier.
The kickback is ready.
Sensors are picking up a Ferengi freighter in the neutral zone. Sensors are picking up a distortion in the space-time continuum. Sensors are picking up a Ferengi freighter.